sorted. Anything else?
Warning. The current temperature of Earth is approaching 100 million degrees Celsius.
Oh, great.
This is the Entropy Centre. It's a first-person puzzle game that focuses on the concept of rewinding time. After a few short minutes into the demo, it became very obvious that the team at Stubby Games were making an homage to one of the best puzzle games, or even games period, of all time, Portal. We got a ruined test facility, a comedic AI companion, and a sci-fi reality-bending gun meant for solving puzzles. And trust me, the similarities do not stop there. I mean, they do say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Now, I'm not throwing shade. I'll call this more of a Portal-like than a ripoff. I say that because the core rewind functionality felt fresh and made for some really enjoyable and clever puzzles, none of which felt too frustrating or obtuse. The puzzles alone weren't what made this one of my favorite demos in, well, forever. It was also the atmosphere. The visuals were surprisingly sharp, which only emphasized the feel of the abandoned facility that you find yourself wandering through. In between puzzle rooms, you can also access emails that will help you chip away at the mysterious backstory of the Entropy Centre. The demo as a whole just pitched a very complete game to me that I'm dying to get back into. Fortunately, we won't have to wait too long. The Entropy Centre drops November 3rd, 2022 on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Something you all should know is that I'm a sucker for deck builders. I don't know what it is, but ever since Yu-Gi-Oh!, I've been into battling cards. Hearthstone, Gwent, and most recently Inscription all had me hooked before I could blink. Now that you have the context, hopefully you'll understand why I'm hyped about Wildfrost. Wildfrost is being developed by Deadpan Games and Gazetteer, and it's a roguelike deck builder with a pretty charming art style. For those that are unaware, the one thing that can make or break a deck builder is balance. If the deck strategies aren't balanced, nothing else matters. Wildfrost aces that test. The game at its core felt easy to learn, but also very balanced and strategic. Just within the 30 minutes I spent in the demo, I felt like I had built a fairly formidable deck. The best part is, I was passing up on some other deck builds that seemed just as interesting. Even if deck builders typically aren't your thing, I highly recommend at least giving the demo a try. And if you're already sold, keep an eye out for the game when it releases on PC and Switch, winter 2022. Ever been in a situation that just felt off to you? No, I mean really, really off. Well, that's essentially The Bunny Graveyard, a psychological horror game developed by Pychon Games. Disclaimer, I can't play super scary games. I couldn't play more than a couple minutes of Outlast, didn't even try to play Resident Evil 7, and I could barely finish Resident Evil 2. So trust me when I say, The Bunny Graveyard is doable. The demo is all sorts of weird. You start in this creepy basement place, but then you warp into a computer and start playing as a glove, and then you start having some interesting interactions with a bunny that runs a farm. Trust me, it's eerie. Even with how odd it all was, they had me way more invested than I expected it to be, especially because the demo left off on a big cliffhanger. I'm afraid to see how the scares ramp up in the complete game, but they've built a mystery I need to learn more about when it releases on PC and Switch in late 2022.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Alright, we're already in a scary mood, so let's just keep the theme going. Slay the Princess is a visual novel game by Black Tabby Games about, well, slaying a princess. Seriously, that's like 90% of the plot. There's a cabin with a princess in the basement, and you are tasked to kill her, or the world will end. Why do we have to kill her? What did she do? Did she take her socks off on the plane? Oh, or maybe she did self-checkout but rung up a PS5 as an apple. These are all valid questions, and trust me, the game has a lot of options to let you explore them. As someone who is not traditionally a visual novel guy, the writing and branches of this one really engrossed me. I would have never thought such subtle differences in a relatively simple plot would allow for so many robust storytelling opportunities. I had the chance to sit down with the developers Abby and Tony to talk about Slay the Princess, and while I'll share more of that conversation on can'tpause.com at a later date, I can tell you they're determined to deliver a thrilling experience that will hopefully, and I quote, make you cry. Slay the Princess is expected to release sometime on PC in 2023, but in the meantime, you can check out their other project, Scarlet Hollow. Now let's take things to the pitch for Soccer Story. That's what they call it, right? The pitch? Soccer Story, which oddly enough has no affiliation with Golf Story, is an adventure RPG centered around a kid trying to bring the joy of soccer back to a fictional, weirdly soccer-obsessed world. You're going around knocking down drones, picking up spilled trash bins, retrieving acorns, and doing just an impressive amount of other random tasks, all with your magic soccer ball. Also, you can actually play soccer matches. This game was just vibrant, silly fun, amplified by wacky characters, and sometimes that's all you really want. Soccer Story is being developed by Panic Barn and will be coming to PC, Game Pass, and Switch late 2022. I'm historically bad at bullet hell shoot 'em ups, like really bad. I just don't have the patience to dodge all those projectiles. Even so, that didn't stop me from enjoying The Night Witch, a Metroidvania action-adventure shoot 'em up with deck-building elements. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Oddly enough though, this Frankenstein's monster of a video game actually worked for me. It's a charming indie game that did just enough to carve out its own identity. The game is about a witch trying to stop a golem invasion while also trying to step into the role of a powerful protector. Honestly, from what I played of the demo, the plot seemed pretty surface level, but also wholesome and interesting. The deck building aspect of the game really spiced things up, allowing for a wide range of rotating spells that ensured you constantly had to adjust how you handled the battles. The movement and attacks also felt better than expected. That being said, I did struggle a bit on the final boss fight of the demo, so my kryptonite to bullet hells still applies. The Night Witch is being developed by Super Mega Team and releases on all consoles November 29th, 2022.
Whatever this thing is, it kills people, and it's going to kill everyone in town if we don't stop it.
Are you in the need of a fix to keep you going until the final season of Stranger Things drops? Then boy do I have the game for you. Unusual Findings is a point-and-click mystery game developed by Epic Llama Games. It takes place in a small neighborhood in the 80s. You'll follow a group of young teens as they stumble upon a deadly alien stalking through the town. Now I don't play many point-and-click games, but the cheesy dialogue and general goofy retro vibe were enough to convince me to at least give this a try. There's something so comforting about a group of neighborhood kids joining together to stop a force that's killing full-grown adults. This game is out now, and I already have it installed on my Steam Deck, so expect to see my thoughts on Can'tPause.com sometime in the next few weeks. If I could use one word to describe this next game, it would be cathartic. In Wavetale, you surf around the open sea in an effort to save your fellow islanders and discover the secrets hidden in the waters below you. The story seems intriguing enough, the visuals are nice on the eyes, but honestly, regardless of any of that, you should try this just for the movement alone. I played this game at PAX West and I was absolutely mesmerized by the controls. It was so fluid and smooth that I could feel my body relaxing in the demo chair in real time. The closest thing I can compare it to is the feeling that I get when I'm swinging around New York City in Spider-Man. I'm holding my breath to see if the full game can match the feeling that the small snippet in the demo gave me, but for now, I can only say that Thunderful was absolutely in their bag when they designed the core mechanics for this one. If you think I'm exaggerating, I don't blame you. I suggest you at least try the demo out and see for yourself. The game was released in 2021 on Stadia, but since that platform is not long for this world, we can expect to see a release on consoles and PC hopefully sometime before 2022 ends. We got another scary game, which honestly might be starting to say something about me. Slender Threads is a point-and-click thriller adventure where a traveling salesman stumbles upon a dark mystery in the town of Villa Ventana. To reiterate, I have played almost no point-and-click games, but if the writing and dialogue are good enough, I'll play almost anything. That was exactly the situation here. The demo kind of felt like watching an animated Stephen King novel. For roughly 30 minutes, I wandered an empty town block, chatted with some interesting locals, and solved some classic point-and-click puzzles. By the end of my time with the demo, the story had gone from 0 to 100, and I was ready for the next beat. I haven't played any Monkey Island games, but this was giving me strong Monkey Island vibes. You can tell me if I'm wrong when the developer Blitz decides to release the game. Official release date TBA. I know some of you that like judging books by the covers are going to say, why did you leave this baby game for last? And you couldn't be more wrong. Storyteller is a fantastic puzzle game that presents you with a phrase that you then need to build a story around. It could be a story about heartbreak, a story about temptation, or a story where a curse is broken. The cool part about it is, you can do whatever you want with your story as long as you satisfy the prompt. Your story of heartbreak could end in divorce, death, or even a Romeo and Juliet type situation. This is definitely one of those games that you need to get your hands on to truly appreciate. It seems simple on the surface, but I'm actually really impressed at what the developer Daniel Ben-Marghi has achieved here. The release date is TBA, but when it releases, I'll be there day one. Well, that concludes this Can't Pause Indie Showcase. I hope you found at least one new indie game that you're interested in. If you've enjoyed this style of showcase and you want to see more in the future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Also, don't forget to check out can'tpause.com for individual game coverage and opinion pieces. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm out.